subscribe today.
So this channel is birthed out of obedience. This is not something I normally would do. Well, I would say things like that, but God's been checking me lately to stop saying things like that, because that's not who I really am, but that's who I was conditioned to be by the world. Who I am to stand in now is who I really am in Christ Jesus. And walk in who He's called me to be, and not who I thought I was, or the lies that I believed about myself. So He's been saying basically that a lot of time we limit ourselves as children of God. And don't get me wrong, because we are human, but we take out the power and the authority side of things, side of Christ within us, and being united with Him, and that we live as if we're not united with Christ. And so that's been a big thing He's been talking to me about. So that's going to be a lot of what I speak about on this channel, besides prophetic words and a bit of my journey and what I'm going through, trying to walk that out united with Christ and as who He says I am, versus what my feelings, because of how I was conditioned to be, and trying to stand in His authority and power and united with Him, and basically giving my life over to Him daily. So you'll see a bit about that. So let me read it so I can remember. God died that we might be free, not halfway or partially. He's given us the power and authority to reign in His likeness as children of God. He who commands life and death. So yeah. God, the Creator, who can command life and death, and something He spoke to me, that He can command life and death, and we can't even command the day. Like, we don't speak to the day. We don't position ourselves in a way of authority and power under Christ, that no matter what happens in the day or whatever happens in life, that it's not simply happening to us, but we're happening to the day. That's what we're called to do. We're called to happen to things on the earth, called to reign over things. And we just don't live that kind of lifestyle often. You don't see that in Christians and other believers a lot of the time. And that's just something God has been telling me to speak about, and guiding me into truth over what we just been complacent with for so long as Christians and children that belong to Him. A lot of the time we do a lot of speaking, we do a lot of talking, we do a lot of preaching, we do a lot of these things, but He's been saying there's this other side to Him with this power and with authority, and that we just been not hesitant to walk in, but we just been idle about it in that way. He said we try to raise the dead when we can't even command the day. And yeah, so that really spoke to me. We pray sometimes for healing and sickness and these things, and God's like, wait, back up. Back up. You didn't even learn the principles. You didn't even learn how to command the smaller things. And like, we try to jump ahead. We keep living under earthly principles, but we keep living under earthly principles and forgetting who child we are. And also, we're supposed to be burden bearers, and burden bearers for Christ. And we end up having so much worldly burdens that it diminishes what we're supposed to be doing for Christ, or what we're supposed to look like in Christ as His children.